Mr. Barcos Mbakhwa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies. I think one thing you forgot to mention on the introduction is that I am the current winner and holder of Best Youth Activist Addressing Social Issues in Botswana. Yes. Awarded by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Gender and Culture in conjunction with Botswana National Youth Council, BNYC. So I think it just speaks to what you already said, that behind the scenes, I'm the main man in terms of fueling these non-governmental organizations to achieve their missions. Because we already know that they are operating on the addressing social issues, right? So behind the scenes, maybe most of you already don't know me, but it's because I do empower or capacitate these organizations so that they can achieve their missions. You can think about the organizations that I have already consulted with and the impact they have already had in the whole of Botswana as a nation. Hence, I was awarded with this award, Best Youth Activist Addressing Social Issues in Botswana. Thank you so much. You don't know? Just like they are on their introduction, I'll quickly go through my biography. I'm a graduate from University of Botswana, Bachelor of Education, Adult Education. So that's why then I do provide capacity building to NGOs, because we find adults in NGOs, right? I graduated with a first class 4.4. And we were 35 in class. I was the only first class, just to mention that. I was the only one with a first class. But of course, there are always challenges. There was a point when my main master's scholarship is Commonwealth Scholarship. I did try to apply. I was nominated by Minister of Basic Education and got admissions from several universities, but I didn't manage to secure it as I failed towards the end of the selection processes, but I'm still pursuing that one. I realized that most speakers mentioned that they have masters on different areas, but it's an area that I'm trying to improve on. But I think the good thing is that I received nominations before on the Commonwealth Scholarship, so I'm still working on that. I've worked for NGOs and also worked for different NGO consulting firms. I also have my own consulting firm called Supreme Global Solutions. And as such, I've worked with many NGOs, I think more than 15 currently, both startup, someone was mentioning grassroots NGOs. I've worked with both grassroots NGOs and also well-established NGOs. Do you know Stepping Stones International? Yeah, we know. Maybe there are those we categorize as the big five. Can we mention them? Just a few. Maybe the big five in terms of their annual budget, in terms of the number of staff they have. Can we list just a few? What kind of NGOs do we know? 5? Anyone? Who works for any NGO? Do you have anyone who works for any NGO here? Which one? Okay, thank you. Anyone else who works for any NGO? So there's no one. Do you have anyone who is aspiring to work for an NGO? Maybe I'm not in the right place. Do you have anyone who is aspiring to work for a non-governmental organization? I have 1. Anyone? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you will see. I think there are different ways individuals can take part with NGOs, not only to work, but we'll see on the next slide. But I've worked with or trained the likes of Stepping Stones International, Hope Worldwide, BGBVC, Youth Impact, Developili, Step Up International, now for them Community Trust. So it's very broad in the sense that I do train on resource mobilization. I do train these NGOs on how they can mobilize resources. I do train on writing grant proposals. I do practically write proposals for these NGOs. I coordinate the grant writing process. And as we speak, I only submitted my presentation yesterday in the afternoon because I was busy. One of my client NGO applied for a grant at a French embassy, 200,000 pula. It was pre-selected. I was helping them to go for an interview taking place on Tuesday next week. And I'm going to show you that we are going to win the grant. Because that's basically what we do as grant writing consultants, because we master the basics of writing grant proposals. And these NGOs engage us not because they don't know how to write proposals, some of them, but because, as you already know or predict, they're always busy with workshops, with other mandates. So then they engage us as consultants to help them to write grant proposals. By the end of next week, I assure you that maybe some of you will see us presenting that grant from French embassy, total of 200,000. But we don't mention our clients, so I didn't mention any name. I also do mentorship on startup civil society organizations or NGOs as they put youth on organization. I met with them, I think, 3 months back, and they engaged me to help them to support them. Because I think the other speaker mentioned that these are just initiatives, but they are not registered. So what are the benefits of now moving to another level? From it's only an initiative now, registering it officially and ensuring that it have official registration documents. We'll get to that later on. Yeah, grant writing. I also provide grant writing masterclasses, which is open for individuals. Those who follow me on LinkedIn already know that the next one will be on the next week, Saturday, 26th at University of Botswana, where it is open for individual registration. Whoever wants to register and learn how to write grant proposals, they are free to contact me and also learn whether they want to register their own NGOs or want to work for NGOs as grant writers. And I was asked to talk about different kind of organizations. I want to clarify maybe different types of civil society organizations, because all these, they fall under a group called civil society organizations. So under civil society organizations, we find different types as non-governmental organizations, community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, associations, societies, charity organizations, trusts, and foundations. I think there's one thing that is common among all this. That's why they fall under the category of civil society organizations, because they are non-profit making by nature. They are designed in such a way that they do not make profit. But we are saying they do not make profit, but how do they operate? I think that's the main question. We know the likes, we said we know the likes of Stepping Stones International. We know they have more than 200 staff members, but they don't make profit. But we see them expanding on a daily basis. Exactly how do they manage to do this, whereas they do not make profit? They are also non-state in the sense that they are not affiliated to the government. They work independently, they are registered independently without affiliating to the government. And they also work on a voluntary basis, because no one forces you to register the non-profit, but it's on a voluntary basis. Same as the Put Youth On organization. I think no one forced her to do it, to register it. It's on a voluntary basis because she saw the need to register the organization. So, and then I think you managed to read the definition of civil society organizations and the different categories. We'll see on the next slide. But what are the main imperativeness or benefits of civil society organizations? This is because, like I said, they address social ills that are there in the society. Some of them are helpful in the areas of primary education, health, water and sanitation, providing shelter, providing counseling and psychosocial support services to those who are in need or the marginalized or disadvantaged group. For example, here we have the Botswana Gender-Based Violence Prevention and Support Center. What do? They provide shelter for women who are survivors of GBV. And they also provide psychosocial support, they provide counseling, they provide and other clinical services. They also promote political participation. Those who follow Botswana Council of Non-Governmental Organizations, BOCONGO, they have a program where they partner with GAPS FM and EU, and they promote political participation and voting by citizens. They meet the government halfway in terms of providing those services. They also provide monitoring and evaluation, participating in local planning and budgeting, suggest on how the government can help allocate budget in different sectors that exist, advocating for human rights. We have the channel, which consistently advocates for the rights of humans. Sometimes there is a clash between these NGOs and the community. We know the channel advocate for capital punishment, which is sometimes not welcome by the community. The abolishment of capital punishment, and there are always issues between these NGOs and the government. Contributing to mediating, resolving conflict, contribution to social innovation, influencing government policy, and lobbying for change. Yeah, and when I started my presentation, I mentioned that everyone can take part in an NGO. It's not always that we have to work there or we have to be owners of these NGOs, because it is really broad. We have those who are founders or co-founders of NGOs. We also have employees, because NGOs have different departments, therefore they hire people with almost all skills based on the mandate of the organization. We have those who focus on, like I mentioned, BGB, VC, on gender-based violence. Obviously, they will hire counselors, social workers, based on their mandate in terms of education, health, agriculture, OVCs, GBV. You just have to find your match if you want to apply for work opportunities at these NGOs. And then we have those who are board members of NGOs. Board members are those who oversee the whole process of NGOs, how it operates, how it runs, everything. And mostly they do take decisions and the organization reports to them. We also have funders, sponsors, grantors, and donors. They fall in the same category. The presenter mentioned corporate social responsibilities. We have companies who sponsor these NGOs as funders and as donors. We'll also see on the next slide the different funders that are there in the NGO space. Those who do work as volunteers, project implementing partners. Sometimes what we do as consultants, after writing these proposals, we include ourselves as implementing partners. For example, when I apply for an NGO which want to implement a program in Hansi, and part of it is to provide capacity building to their beneficiaries in Hansi on resource mobilization, I can also include myself as an implementing partner on that proposal. So when I write the proposal, I will be paid to write the proposal, but already I include myself as an implementing partner, and I allocate myself some budget on the proposal, on the implementation phase, which I think for us is a strategic approach so that we can also survive. Technical advisors, that's where we fall. NGO consultants, that's where we fall. And then we have beneficiaries. Beneficiaries are those who do benefit from the organization. And then quickly, the basic NGO structure for those NGOs which are well established. We have the board of directors. I already mentioned that one. The CEO, the chief executive officer, who reports directly to the board members. And then between them, we have like a management team or technical team, program management, admin operations, finance manager. Below them, we have those who coordinate these programs. And also below them, we have those who are on the ground, who actually do the work, who facilitate those programs, who do the outreach activities, and do the whole implementation. Thank you so much. My name is Mompati, Barcos Mbakhwa. I'm a resource mobilization consultant. That basically means that I do support NGOs in resource mobilization and also writing grant proposals. I do train on writing grant proposals, and I also do write grant proposals for NGOs. I was invited today as a speaker at this youth training organized by Put Youth On Organization to come and share my expertise and experience on different civil society organizations that are there. As you already know that these CEOs are very diverse in nature. We have trust, we have foundations, we have non-governmental organizations. I try to clarify on my presentation that these are really different, and their mission are also different as well as their mandates. And I also clarified on that we are saying these are non-profit making organizations, but the bigger question for this youth is that how can they operate, how can they mobilize resources since they are not making any profit. So we'll try to highlight different ways civil society organizations can mobilize resources for their entities, including corporate sponsorships, applying for grant proposals, fundraising events, crowdfunding, individual donations, membership programs, funds from embassies. And then I think from other speakers, the training was really insightful as it was very diverse. Other speakers talked about the business sector, leadership, management of different projects. So it was really helpful for everyone who did attend the workshop today. Even those who were joining virtually, I think they managed to get insights into everything that was said today. And going forward, I think they are going to use the skills that were gained today in order to maybe some of them register formally their entities into well-recognized NGOs or foundations or trusts, and they'll be able to mobilize funding for their entities. And also in terms of networking, as you can see, they are busy networking, trying to get more knowledge or understanding from what others are doing. So this was really helpful, and we are looking forward to more trainings that will bring youth together from different perspectives, different dynamics of in the work environment. Thank you so much.